Which One Piece booster box do you think is best value for money right now, first week of June 2024? Welcome back to the Chase Card, everyone. Now, obviously, you all know I'm a mad Pokemon collector and investor. I love Pokemon the most. It's been around for like 3 decades now and keeps performing well. Pokemon is king. Every now and again, I'm just going to look at something else in the trading card market. It's just good to have an open mind. And some of my viewers also collect a little bit of One Piece or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something else other than Pokemon. So I might just do a video every now and again just on another topic. And today we want to look at One Piece. Came out 18 months ago with Romance Dawn being the first set. And since then there's been 6 booster boxes, 6 regular sets released from One Piece. I want to go through all 6 One Piece booster boxes. For you One Piece collectors and for you Pokemon investors that might be kind of interested a little bit in looking at what One Piece is doing. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. We're going to go through it. There's 6 booster boxes to go through. I want to look at, if you are to invest in One Piece, what is the best value for money One Piece booster box money can buy today. I'm going to look at the top 10 chase cards, in each set. Work out the total combined value of those 10 chase cards relative to the purchase price of the booster box. Give each one a percentage value based on those single cards within the sets, and then give you a ranking on all of those booster boxes. 6 being the worst, 1 being the best. We're going to go from 6 to 1, the worst to the best. Stay tuned, let's get into it. Again, welcome back to the Chase Card, everyone. So One Piece is the focus today. The 6 booster boxes for the last 18 months from OP1 to OP6, or the regular sets. Let's get straight into it. The 6th and worst value for money set is Paramount War. That's right, guys. Don't get offended if you have Paramount War in your collection. As I usually say, most of these booster boxes will do pretty well in my opinion. But Paramount War, out of the 6, is the worst value for money. The numbers don't lie. That's just the numbers. The 10 chase cards in Paramount War add up to a grand total of $1,777. $1,777. That's US dollars, as always. The booster box price is $388 US dollars. Right here, $388, right? 6 months ago, this booster box was $273, went up to $386, and it's back there again, $386, $388 right now, right? Now, that means $388 for the booster box, $1,777 for the top 10 chase cards. That means that those 10 chase cards add up to 457% of the value of the booster box. That means they're over 4.5 times the value of the booster box for those top 10 chase cards. Now, if you compare that to some of the other Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes and things of that nature, these are really extraordinary numbers. Now, I think that there will be possibly a bit of a correction where these prices might come back to reality a bit, but One Piece, I don't know. One Piece is popular. The prices are exploding. People love One Piece. So I think it's kind of here to stay. I just don't know what the future holds for it. I'm just giving you the numbers, guys. But that's a really, really strong number, and it's still the worst performing, the worst value for money set. Not the worst performing, the worst value for money set out of these 6. Again, this is an unbiased opinion. I just crunch the numbers. That's all I do. The numbers don't lie, right? Here's the 10. I'll quickly show you. There's the top chase cards from Paramount War, right? There's the number 1 chase card. That alternate art Portgas D Ace, $1,119, $1,100 US dollars. Here it is here. You can see that card there. Number 1 chase card. It's come down marginally over the last 3 months. But from 6 months ago, from 926 to 1119. Look, I'm not going to get into the chase cards too much. I'll just show you the biggest one. But there's the top chase cards, right? The top 3, 6, 9, and 10th chase card. They all add up to $1,777. Okay, so that's Paramount War. Okay, let's move on. Kingdoms of Intrigue. OP4. This is the fifth worst value for money booster box. Okay, Kingdoms of Intrigue. God, why am I struggling to say that? Just having a Joe Biden moment. $195 for the booster box. 6 months ago, this booster box was $100. and it's now 195. So it's almost doubled in 6 months. So even though this is the 5th worst value for money booster box on this list, the booster box is still almost doubled in value. So again, with One Piece, pretty hard to go wrong. But again, the top 10 chase cards in this set add up to, let me have a look, $1,096. $1,096. Now, considerably less than the top 10 chase cards from Paramount More that I just mentioned. However, the booster box is almost half the price, basically half the price, which means it ranks on a percentage basis. Those 10 chase cards add up to 562% of the purchase price of what the booster box costs. So you with me, guys? This is just worked on a percentage basis. 10 chase cards versus the booster box price, given each one a percentage. This comes in at number 5. Here's the top 10 chase cards. There's the top 9, and the 10th one there is that Sanji, worth 33 bucks. But the top chase card, sorry, the 10th is the Edward Newgate. Sorry, the 10th is the Edward Newgate. The most expensive one is that Sabo manga card, alternate art manga card, $526. But yeah, Kingdoms of Intrigue, not the strongest set. Number 5 on the list. I'm not going to get into all the chase cards. Like I said, the most expensive chase cards, $526, and all 10 add up to just over $1,000, $1,096. Moving on, Pillars of Strength, the 4th worst value for money. Should I say worst value for money at this stage, or best value for money? The 4th worst value for money, I guess we could say. The 4th on the list. Pillars of Strength, OP03, the booster box going for $251. Let's just go back 6 months. This was $155, now $245. Again, up almost $100 in 6 months. The booster box is still not a bad investment. Again, the worst value for money booster box is still extraordinary numbers. Like there's no terrible sets. But I have to rank them. The 6 in order of worst value for money to best value for money. So the booster box, $245. Pillars of Strength, the top 10 chase cards in this set add up to $1,528, just over $1,500. Okay, the booster box, $245. That means it gives this one, Pillars of Strength, 608%. Okay, the 10 chase cards, the top 10, add up to a grand total of 608% of the purchase price of the booster box. Yeah, I hope you're sticking with me on these numbers, guys. 608% of the purchase price of the booster box, making this number 4 on the list. Now, Pillars of Strength, here's the top 10 chase cards here, top 3, 6, 9, and the 10th is that $55 Khalifa alternate art. Not a bad looking card, but the number 1 chase card is this. I'm not sure how to say this. I'm not a massive One Piece guy. I'm a Pokemon guy. It's Sogeking or Sogeking alternate art, the manga card. $601, basically $600 US. The second card, $192. The third card, $175. But those top 10 chase cards in Pillars of Strength, again, just over $1,500. Given it, those 10 chase cards add up to 608% of the purchase price of the booster box. Now we get into the top half, okay? The third best value for money, okay? The third best value for money is Romance Dawn. Now, a lot of people might be surprised about this. This is the OG, the original one. And I believe the blue bottom Romance Dawn booster boxes are much more sought after, commanding a bit of a premium. But again, I'm just sticking to the numbers. This is OP1, the OG Romance Dawn, $477. Back in the start of the year, this thing was $580 and now $477. So it's dropped over $100 since the start of this year. In the last 6 months, 5.5, 6 months, this booster box has dropped almost $100 in value, guys. So, I mean, I haven't really seen that happen with Pokemon. So that's why Pokemon people like it. There's more trust, there's more stability. I don't know how much further this Romance Dawn booster box will drop, but I think there was probably a bit of FOMO with this Romance Dawn set being the number 1 set. But when you look at the chase cards inside, it's not the best value for money set. It's a good set, but that price for the booster box was probably a bit elevated, guys. A bit of FOMO there. Anyway, the top 10 chase cards for Romance Dawn add up to $3,714 US. These are still huge numbers. So when something ranks 3, 4, or 5, or 6 on this list, it's not a bad thing. It's just One Piece at the moment, at this point in time, and it may change. He's so strong that even the bad sets are awesome. And this is not a bad set. This is the third best value for money. So it's in the top 3 out of the 6 we're looking at. And those 10 chase cards, being $3,700 odd, adds up to 778% of the purchase price of the booster box. Okay? 778% of the purchase price of the booster box. That's to say, you'd be able to buy these 7 of these booster boxes would be cheaper than the top 10 chase cards. So really strong singles card prices in One Piece. And here's the top 10 chase cards. Here's the number 1 chase card for Romance Dawn. The Shanks Parallel Alternate Art, $1,844. I have touched on a couple of these cards from these sets in a previous video I did a few months back. But this is a very different video, just ranking the One Piece booster boxes by themselves and not comparing them to Pokemon or anything else, just ranking the One Piece ones. That Shanks, $1,844. The second chase card, $349, and then $299, $300 for that Roronoa Zoro, that Zoro card. I'm probably murdering these names. But anyway, again, this is not about the chase cards specifically. But that's the Romance Dawn top 10 chase cards here, all the top chase cards, 369. The 10th is at Boa Hancock at $99. So even the 10th card's almost 100, basically $100. And that's the third best value for money booster box out of these 6 so far. The second best value for money booster box on this list, number 2, okay, is the OP6. The most, well, basically the most recent one. There has been another one come out recently, which is, one second guys, just here. Don't ask me why I picked up probably the worst One Piece set so far. This is called an extra set. It's a smaller set, and it's the most recent. Very lackluster set, guys. I just got it for the sake of getting it. I haven't got much One Piece yet, and I basically bought that without doing any research. But there it is. That's not included in this list. That's just come out. That's an extra set. But these are the regular sets. The Wings of the Captain is the second best value for money, and this is a really strong set. And being that it's a recent set, you can still get this at a fair price. This is going for $154, this booster box. It was $245 back in sort of the end of January, start of February 2024. So again, this has dropped off almost basically $90 decrease. So some of these booster boxes are coming out the gate strong and then dropping a little bit. Very strange for a booster box. We don't really see that. Again, we don't really see that in Pokemon. There has been some discounted booster boxes in Pokemon. Maybe you get $30, $40 cheaper, end of financial year sales and things like that. But I mean, this is a bit of a different ball game. So that's, anyway, Wings of the Captain, strong set. Even though it's only $154 for the booster box, the top 10 chase cards add up to $2,864. Here's the top 10 chase cards. Oh my god, that Roronoa Zoro, that Zoro manga card, $1,190 the top chase card. The second chase card, $885. So even the second chase card's almost $1,000 raw, ungraded. So Wings of the Captain, really strong set. As I said, the top 10 add up to almost $3,000, meaning that those 10 chase cards, check this out for a percentage. Compared to the booster box price, those 10 chase cards add up to 1,859% of the purchase price of what the booster box would cost. Almost 2,000% more than the cost of the booster box. What does that mean? That means for a booster box investor, it's really great to know there's a bunch of big chase cards in that set. That gives me comfort as a booster box investor. So that's why these numbers matter. That's why I do it like this. A couple of you disagree with this system I use. I have used this system on past videos, and a lot of you understand what I'm doing and agree and give me great feedback. There might be a couple of outliers that say, look buddy, you're not talking about pull rates, and you're not talking about how these prices are going to crash. You're not talking about print runs enough. And that's all well and good. I'm not going to rush out and spend truckloads of money on the booster boxes straight away. I'm going to watch them. But these numbers, as they stand, and I've got to go with where the market's at week to week, month to month with my investments. These numbers are important. I follow these numbers. And I think they're a really good indicator of what makes a strong set versus a weak set. And this Wings of the Captain, you know, when the 10 chase cards are almost 2,000% of the purchase price of the booster box, I've got to be in. I'm not going to lose sleep if I buy the booster box and it goes down $50. I'm not going to lose sleep. Honestly, I think it's a great pickup. And the number one One Piece booster box, best value for money, hands down, by far, it's not even close, is Awakening of the New Era, or Awakening of the New Era. And this set is beyond phenomenal. I've never seen anything like this. Which, hey, is it a bubble? Look, man, who knows? Who knows? Is this thing going to go off a cliff? I don't know. I don't bloody know. How do I know? I've got to go with what the numbers are telling me at the moment, the current market. This booster box, and this is OP05. So this is a fairly recent set, obviously not the most recent set, but the booster box is only $240 US. Well, it's about 380 Australian dollars off memory. It was $300 at the start of the year, and it's $240 now, so it's come off a little bit. So based on what I'm seeing here, it's not a bad idea to wait a few months after a set comes out with the One Piece, because these booster boxes seem to taper off a little bit after a few months. Kind of unlike the Pokemon ones, right? So that's interesting. That's an interesting pattern. But that's really good value. Look, the 10 chase cards in this set. Are you ready? The 10 chase cards. I'm sorry if you're not into One Piece, guys, but keep an open mind. If I never had an open mind, I never would have got into Pokemon in the first place. Just keep an open mind. I'm not saying this is a be-all and end-all, but just, it's interesting, right? The top 10 chase cards in Awakening of the New Era, $11,099. Are you shitting me? That's bananas! Over $11,000 for the top 10 chase cards, ungraded, raw, in this set. And the booster box is only $240. Send me a truckload of Awakening of the New Era booster box. Send me a damn truckload. Man, if those prices went down 80%, that booster box would be a good pickup. That's insane. Awakening of the New Era, by far the number one best value for money One Piece booster box. Here's those top 10 chase cards. The number one Monkey D. Luffy manga card, $3,500 US, ungraded, raw. The second card, just shy of $2,000, another Monkey D. Luffy alternate art gold card. The third most expensive card, $1,150. I'm not going to go on and on. This video is not a chase card video. It's not a singles video. It's ranking booster boxes only, which obviously you know that now. But look at that, $3.5 grand for the first chase card, the Monkey D. Luffy. $2 grand for the second. Awakening of the New Era, nothing compares. Nothing compares, as Sinead O'Connor would say. God bless her soul, Skinhead O'Connor. Nothing compares to Awakening of the New Era. That is a banging set. Guys, they're the 6 booster boxes from One Piece. Worst value to best value for money based on current market prices. This can change. If you're watching this video in 6 months time or 12 months or 2 years time, these numbers could be completely different. This is based on the first, the end of May, first week of June 2024. These are current market prices, and this is the value that I see. This is the way I assess it. This is the way I crunch the numbers. You don't have to agree. I hope I could share some valuable insights with you guys in relation to where One Piece is at the moment. Do you guys own One Piece? Let me know in the comments. Give me your feedback. Comment below. I'll get back to all of you. I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching the chase card. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys own One Piece? Are you looking to invest in One Piece booster boxes? Are you staying right away from One Piece and just focusing on Pokemon? Which, if you are, that's fine. Like I say, I'm a Pokemon, advocate. Yeah, give me your feedback. What do you think of One Piece, guys? Thanks for watching the chase card. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.